welcome back to another episode of Treys podcast. It's me, Son Trey, and always with me is Pop Trey. Pops, you want to go ahead and let them know why we do this every episode?
Assalamu alaikum, son. First thing,
Mom.
got to give the greetings to my son, man. How you feeling, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, feeling good.
Good? All right.
Yes, sir.
Been a
Absolutely.
while. Been a while.
Been a little while.
Yeah, but we ain't going nowhere. We definitely wanted to bring forth our purpose for this podcast that we have started as a father and son duo. And I have to say, we are the only father and son tag team on YouTube. All right, so shout out to us. All right, but we use this channel to inspire and bridge the gap between the youth and the elders, between fathers and sons, and bring the perspectives of truth versus falsehood, and to reflect love and peace with the Black community between the male and the female as well. And that's our purpose, man. So no drama, none of that, gossip talk. We save that for other channels and other avenues that choose to do so. But on this channel, we keep it positive. Our guests are positive and inspirational, and that's what we're trying to do on this channel.
And if you are enjoying the show, please leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It really does a lot for us. And we want to make the show as interactive as possible. So, we want to hear back from you guys. We'll try to be as interactive during.
Facts.
And
hit the like, subscribe. Let the family know. Let the friends, around the neighborhood know. Father and son duo on YouTube, man. Okay, who else is duplicating this?
Word. So let's go ahead and get into the show. What we always do before we start off with our actual topics for the day is we get into the honorable mention. But this honorable mention has to do with the topic. So
indeed,
it's going to be a pretty seamless show and how we get into it. Pops, you want to go ahead and let them know who that option is, and I'll go ahead and get the picture pulled up for us.
For sure. Well, what can I say about this man? He's a legend in the field of reggae music. Some people say that he's the one who started reggae music, but let's just say Bob Marley is effectively the king of reggae, and it's sad what happened to our brother, but we're going to try to honor him and do some justice by our brother that we lost. Robert Nesta Marley, born February 1945, and he passed away May 11th, 1981. He was a Jamaican singer, musician, and songwriter. Considered one of the pioneers of reggae, his musical career was marked by fusing elements of reggae and rocksteady, as well as his distinctive vocal and songwriting style. Marley's contributions to music increased the visibility of Jamaican music worldwide and made him a global figure in popular culture. Over the course of his career, Marley became known as a Rastafari icon, and he infused his music with a sense of spirituality. He is also considered a global symbol of Jamaican music and culture and identity, and was controversial in his outspoken support for democratic social reforms. In 1976, Marley survived an assassination attempt in his home, which was thought to be politically motivated, and was proven to be so. He also supported legislation of marijuana and advocated for Pan-Africanism. Bob Marley, we salute you, sir.
Bob Marley, fantastic musician. I actually have the Legends album on vinyl. One of my favorite vinyl records I do have. So, absolutely. And just watching videos of him, takes of him, people definitely resonate with him for a reason. He definitely spoke his truth, and it's not too hard to get behind that when someone is their own person, and him as an individual, Bob Marley speaking, he's an awesome dude, down to earth, from at least what I've seen from the videos and stuff like that. So,
Well, Bob Marley was definitely, if you listen to his music and you listen to his lyrics and his vocals, the brother was deep. The brother was awake. He was conscious. He spoke truth to power through music, and that is what targeted our brother Bob Marley from the government. I just read part of his bio. You know, he spoke against social justice. You know what I mean? And he preached social justice, and he spoke against the injustices by America and throughout the world for Black people. And that made him a target. And what we're going to, you know, do on this episode is highlight, you know, what was revealed just recently by somebody who was on his deathbed. Once again, here's another federal agent for the CIA on his deathbed, acknowledging his contribution to the murder of our brother Bob Marley. He was the one who actually stuck the needle that pricked Bob Marley in his toe, which gave him some sort of uncurable cancer. You know what I mean? And, you know, we hear about, you know, some people, well, a lot of people call it a conspiracy theory whenever the government is blamed for, you know, a certain specific death of an official, of an activist, and some people quick to rule out what a theory of blame is targeting. And we are in a day and age of information and truth. And there's going to be more truth being exposed. You know what I mean? And, you know, I just want to stop talking, you know, too much about it. We have clips from our brother Willie D and our brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad, who gave an excellent, detail-oriented description of exactly how the CIA / United States government murdered our brother just for being peaceful and speaking peace and speaking truth to power. So which clip are you going to show first, man? Oh, Willie D?
Yeah.
Fair use. You know what I mean? Willie D, shout out to you, sir. We appreciate you know, what you're doing on these YouTube streets, what they say. But we salute you, and we salute your reporting of this of the CIA's deathbed confession. Roll the footage, son.
I got a story that I need you guys to check out and let me know what you think about it. Our U.S. CIA officer who was admitted into the Mercy Hospital in Maine and told that he had 2 weeks to live. Upon hearing this news, he decided to confess to the murder of Bob Marley, reggae superstar, musical icon Bob Marley. Listen, I don't know if dude is telling the truth or not, but there are certainly a number of people who is interested in this information, because there are people who actually went to their grave believing that America had a role in Bob Marley's death. This guy claimed to have committed 17 assassinations for the U.S. government between 1974 and 1985. Oxley, who worked for the CIA for 29 years as an operative with top-level security clearances, claimed he was often used as a hitman for the organization to assassinate individuals who could represent a threat to the goals of the agency. Trained as a sniper and marksman, Oxley also had significant experience with more unconventional methods of inflicting harm upon others, like poisons, explosives, induced heart attacks, and cancer. The 79-year-old operative claims he committed the assassinations between March 1974 and August 1985 at a time when he says the CIA was a law unto itself. He says he was part of an operative cell of 3 members which carried out political assassinations across the country and occasionally in foreign countries. Most of their victims were political activists, journalists, and union leaders. He also confesses to assassinating a few scientists, medical researchers, artists, and musicians whose ideas and influence represented a threat to the interests of the United States. He claims he had no problem with going through with the assassination of Bob Marley because I was a patriot. I believed in the CIA, and I didn't question the motive of the agency. I've always understood that sometimes sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. The others were assholes. Bob Marley was Bob Marley. I was no closer to being a long-haired hippie back then than I am now. But I must admit, Bob's music did move me. It held some power over me. He claims to have had mixed feelings about Bob Marley's death. On the other hand, Marley was a good man, a beautiful soul with profound artistic gifts, who did not deserve to have his life cut short. But according to Oxley, Bob Marley was also placing the goals of the CIA in jeopardy and threatening the existence of the United States. He was succeeding in creating a revolution that used music as a more powerful tool than bullets.
Cut off, sir.
Than bullets and bombs. Bob Marley in 1976 was a very serious threat to the global status quo and to the hidden power brokers implementing their plan. Bob Marley was too successful, too famous, too influential, a Jamaican Rasta man who started using his funds and fame to support causes around the world that were in direct conflict with the CIA. To be honest, he signed his own death warrant. It's not like we didn't warn him. We sent a few guys to shoot up his house in Kingston. He's referring to the shooting that took place at Bob Marley's house that left him injured in the chest and the arm. He said, "We had a message for him. We impressed upon him the gravity of the situation he found himself in. He didn't listen. 2 days later in the mountains, I stuck him with the pen." Then he goes on to explain how Bob Marley was actually assassinated, how it played out. 2 days after Bob Marley was shot in the left arm by one of the 3 gunmen who ambushed the singer and some of his crew in his house in Kingston, and after a brief stint in the hospital, Bob Marley traveled to the protective hills of the Blue Mountains and spent time at the highest point in Jamaica, rehearsing for an upcoming concert. According to Oxley, he used press credentials to gain access to Bob Marley when he was on his Blue Mountain retreat. He introduced himself as a famous photographer for the New York Times, and he presented Bob Marley with a gift. "I gave him a pair of Converse All-Stars, size 10. When he tried on the right shoe, he screamed out, 'Ouch.' That was it. His life was over right then and there. The nail in the shoe was tainted with cancer viruses and bacteria. If it pierced the skin, which it did, it was good night, nurse." There had been a series of high-profile assassinations of counterculture figures in the United States in the late 60s, early 70s. By the time Bob Marley's time came around, we thought subtlety was the order of the day. No more bullets and splattered brains. Oxley claims that he kept in close contact with Bob Marley during the later years of his life. ensuring that the medical advice that he received from the doctors in Paris, London, and the United States would hasten his demise rather than cure him. He died from cancer in May 1981. He was just 36 years old. The last time I saw Bob before he died, he had removed the dreadlocks and his weight was dropping like a stone, he says. He was very withdrawn, unbelievably small. He was shrinking in front of us. The cancer had done its job. The day he died in Miami was definitely one of the most difficult moments in my career. I felt real bad. For a long time, I wasn't comfortable with my part in his death. But eventually, I came to realize it had to be done for America. Wow. If that is true.
All right. So, man, once again, America, the U.S. government, these individuals who are responsible for either pulling the trigger, for either planting the poison, they on their deathbed. And they're telling the truth before they evolve. The same thing happened with our brother Malcolm X. You know, there was an undercover who had a deathbed confession as well. I think that was probably a little over a year ago when that news dropped, and there was a press conference by the attorney Crump and I want to say the nephew of the undercover officer who admitted that his role in the assassination of Malcolm X was to get his security, his top security, away from him during the day on the day of the ballroom lecture at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem. And just like our brother Malcolm, our brother Bob Marley, you know, who else has a confession to make before they depart this existence? Who else? You know what I mean? You know what I mean about people just miraculously died or suddenly, you know, caught a disease and passed away, and nobody knows particularly how and who.
Sure.
But at this point, man, why are we still allowing another people to do us harm? This is sad, man. You know what I mean?
He said in the video, I guess what's his name, Willie D. He said, if the guy is telling the truth, well, if the guy is who he says he is, like a CIA agent, for him to admit to killing someone, he did that.
Right.
I don't see, you know what I'm saying? There's no reason. I mean, you don't hear anyone out here admitting to a murder they didn't commit, you know?
Right. Exactly.
So,
why not? You know, but there's more proof. Dr. Brother Wesley Muhammad gave a very, very detailed description on the files, on the FBI files, on the assassination of Bob Marley. And I believe that came out before Willie D's report of this confession from this CIA agent.
Yeah, the confession was from 3 weeks ago, and then this video you sent me for Dr. Wesley was from a month ago.
Right. So Dr. Wesley,
a week difference at least.
Right. So I mean, so that means the information and details of how this was played out was already laid out there, and it's not a coincidence that a week later we get a deathbed confession. I think this individual kind of was like, yo, I need to say something now before they find out it's me. You know what I mean? You know, why else, you know, would he, you know, use this particular time to confess? You know what I mean? Oh, they said he's on his last, month or so, or 2 months that the doctor gave him to live. And it's a coincidence, it's supposed to be a coincidence that Dr. Wesley, a week prior, gave a whole, you know, opened the files from the FBI files and gave a very detailed, you know, description of how it was planned out, how it was organized, and man, come on, man. This government, and we still gonna think our vote matters? Come on, man. What you gotta say, son?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if someone admits to doing something that's a crime, I believe him, you know?
Right.
And not only did he admit to it, he's giving a detailed recollection of how he did it.
Right.
And then after he did it, you know what I'm saying? It's like he gives the before, the after, you know, the during, the after. And so I have no reason not to believe him.
Do we have some
in that situation? What's that?
Do we have some of the footage from Dr. Wesley when he opened the FBI files on Bob Marley's assassination? Can we play a little bit of that?
Yeah, it's a little longer in the
we don't,
the video. So
hey, we can just, you know what I mean, just show the audience what exactly Dr. Wesley was saying, so you know everybody can go back and view his channel, and you know definitely, you know, get informed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of these things that the nation has been exposing is not conspiracy theory. It's actually fact.
At what minute does he actually start talking about the discussion? I haven't actually seen this video.
I mean, just start it anywhere, son. I mean,
like at the is the beginning fine? Like,
yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Cool.
You can just start anywhere. You know what I mean. It's going to pick up exactly what we already know anyway. I just want to show the audience, you know what I mean, that Dr. Wesley has already reported on this, and you know, just give him some reference. Because I don't want anybody to assume that Willie D was the only and first one to come out with this information. You know what I mean? We always got to go back into who exposed this information first, you know?
Gotcha. I mean, so Wesley, I'm assuming this is how it went. Wesley Muhammad exposed the information, but Willie D speaking on the actual report, like the actual CIA agent admitting to the crime. So that's pretty...
Reminds you, remember this, you know, the confession didn't come out before Dr. Wesley.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Just waiting for this load, you know.
Hit the like and share, subscribe. You know what I mean? Help us out. You know what I mean? We are the only father and son duo on YouTube. You know what I mean? That's our stamp. We're holding fort to that. Holding down the fort. Yeah. But we got some other things going on too in this world. You know what I mean? We just wanted to zone in on this confession because I think it wasn't even I haven't seen it on the news. You know what I mean? Not that I watch the news on a daily basis, but just the report. You know what I'm saying? I think Willie D is the only person who reported this confession. This doesn't make the national news. I mean, are you serious? What's going on? You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, like you said, I mean, I don't watch the news.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch news on a daily basis, but
if we're wrong, if we're wrong, but I don't think so.
Right. Even social media, man, I haven't seen anybody post anything about this individual person confessing to the murder of Bob Marley. Are you serious? I mean, I don't understand. You know, I don't understand.
I'm trying to get it pulled up right now. StreamYard keeps kicking me out of the studio, but as soon as I get back in, I'll pull it up.
All right. I mean, you know, if you can, you know what I mean, whenever you know, pull up Dr. Wesley. But if you can't, that's all good, you know. But man, you in Florida, man. So let's discuss this other stuff that's going on in this world, man. How's your breathing, son? Are you able to breathe in the outside in the air? The air quality in Florida is sufficient.
Yeah, it's fine here.
Okay, good. Yeah, you know, they're still talking about the Canadian, you know, wildfires going on, smoke. You know, here in Richmond, Virginia, it affected us for like a day and a half, and then the next day it was all good. But man, New York City, did that Joker look like a scene off of Total Recall, a scene off of Blade Runner? Like, I saw you a picture of that Joker of New York City, right? Remember?
Yeah. You sent me the pictures. It's kind of crazy.
Crazy, man. Like the apocalypse is, you know, wow. But nothing happens by accident, man. Nothing happens by accident. So you got Dr. Wesley's video up?
Right.
You still? What's going on?
It pulls up. It's saying it's sharing right now, but I'm not seeing it pull up on our end. So maybe just give it a couple seconds.
Fair use. Hit the like, share, subscribe. You know, donate if you can. So where's the Cash App? Where's the
link to the donation is in the caption. All you gotta do is click on that. Yep.
Treys in the building once again. We appreciate everybody who's viewing this live with us. You know, we're just trying to get on, you know, as much as possible. But that's a busy young man over there.
Try to stay busy.
It's a busy young man over there. We got a lot. It's not loading. That's all right. That's cool.
No, it's not. It's not the video that's not loading. It's the actual stream. Like, actually, I guess share it.
Okay.
It's being weird right now. I actually needed to be up to actually do stuff, but yeah. Let's you know, let's not, you know what I mean, let up on the story. Let's do some follow up, because I don't believe the gentleman who confessed, I don't think he's not dead yet. Right? That I do not know.
Yeah, I don't think he's deceased.
It did say in the caption that he was on his deathbed, and that was 3 weeks ago. So who knows?
Right. So
no.
I'm just saying, since he made a confession to somebody's murder, shouldn't charges be the next thing to come about?
I wouldn't put the charges against him. He said he was acting out on behalf of the USA government.
All right, well, so nobody.
So him being dead or alive right now is irrelevant.
Yeah, well,
it's relevant, but it's not relevant to pressing charges, because he's not the person we should be pressing charges towards. He's like he's the middleman. It's the USA government that sanctioned him to give him the right to do it in the first place.
All right. Well.
Like I like you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go after the person if there's like the mob boss, and the mob boss is the person who put the hit out, I'm not going after the person who put the hit out, who actually fulfilled the hit. Well, like yeah, he's a stepping stone, but the person that you really need to get is the head honcho that told him to do it in the first place, and he had to listen to.
Well, just like in law enforcement, you know who the trigger man is. You arrest the trigger man, and you make the trigger man give up who his boss was.
Right.
The trigger man.
But there's no reason to arrest him because he told us who the trigger man is already. Well, his boss is he works for the CIA.
I understand.
He was just taking orders.
I understand. So, because he's a grown man and he has a choice to either A or nay, he's still responsible for his part.
Oh no, absolutely. But like I say, he's the part. So he's replaceable. It could have been him or anybody else because he was just taking orders. If he would have said no, they would have found someone else to say yes.
All right, well, fine. Then that would have been he off the hook, and somebody else should be receiving punishment for the assassination of Bob Marley. You know what
I mean? Yeah, we can put a name on it, but again, it's not really him that is the issue. It's the person who controlled him.
Right, I understand.
Who's more important, yeah.
So bring him in and make him give the names of those individuals who ordered the hit. I mean, you just can't say U.S. government. I mean, like, who? What was your superior officer's names?
Right.
You know? And that can only be learned from him while he's still here. That's all. But I don't think nothing should happen. I mean, nothing has happened.
No, I'm not saying that either.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just saying, like, nothing has happened though. Like, one, this story wasn't even thrown out there for.
But like this is the thing though. So if he was taking orders from the CIA, who is in charge of reprimanding the CIA?
That would be Congress. Like there's always somebody guarding or overseeing a branch of either military or branch of law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? There's always there has to be a watchman. Oh, watchman. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like who directly, I can't pinpoint a name, but this is why I say as a people, we have to establish ourselves as a nationality. You know what I'm saying? Because we are getting murdered by another group of people, and we don't have anybody to press charges. Like, there's nobody in our community directly can say, I'm the spokesperson for Black America, and we are now going to file charges on behalf of all of Black America against this particular governmental branch of service who done this individual in our community harm. You understand what I'm saying? We're waiting for them to, you know what I'm saying, to punish themselves. That's stupid. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. Until we come to that realization that, we need to be united. And it doesn't matter if you're a Muslim, a Christian, a 5%er, or a Shiite. It doesn't matter, like, we're Black. You know what I'm saying? Let's unite on the strength of we are united by the racist views of these individuals who don't look at us as a separate people. They look at us as one. How can they look at us as one, but we can't look at ourselves as such? You know what I'm saying? You trying to get the video?
Yeah, it's just buffering. So,
all right. You know what I mean? Like, yo, man, it's I don't know. Everybody claims to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of not receiving real justice with our community. and continue on with the same old. It has to get. It has to stop, man. It has to. We got to come together and be like, it's like what I described, in episodes before, of how, we wouldn't allow somebody from the outside of our family give us advice on how to rectify any issues or drama that we have within our family. Nobody can regulate what goes on in our family but us. Speed through the first part, man.
That's what I was.
Yeah,
that's what I was asking. Like I said, I haven't watched the video, so I don't know where it starts.
Speed through the beginning part, probably like first. Just go to like 5-minute mark, something like that. But salute to brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad, who gave a very, very detailed description. Go to like 5 minutes, man.
It's at 10 right now.
All right. Well, it might just be buffering. Yeah. Shout out to the Nation of Islam. Assalamu alaikum to all my brothers and sisters who are watching.
Journey. I want to thank.
Fast forward again.
Mrs. Farrakhan. Fall. Always considering our people.
Yeah. Fast forward through that too, man. Trey.
Yep.
With a little.
Fast forward through that.
Yep.
Fair use. Hit the like, share, subscribe, please. This is a live show. Apologies for the technical difficulties.
It's all good. I feel like when I watch other podcasts or shows, when they have like the little buffer, I don't know. It's like a little little session. Yeah. It should start playing any second now.
All right, so here we go. Let's read. It is claimed that the CIA artificially induced cancer into Bob Marley's toe, surviving a failed attempt on his life by a well-armed death squad at his 56 home in Kingston, Jamaica. Bob was later given a gift of a new pair of boots by Carl Colby, son of the late CIA director William Colby. That must be the gentleman who left. When the unsuspected Marley put them on, something pricked his foot. Hey! He then reached into one of the boots and pulled a piece of copper wire. Coincidentally, that same toe later became the source of malignant cancer that spread throughout his body, killing him. Many of his closest friends suspected that the wire contained some carcinogenic substance since Marley contracted cancer shortly thereafter. There it is. Boom. You ain't got to go no further.
That's perfect.
You ain't got to go no further, man. Because what we just from Willie D was exactly this gentleman's confession, and now we're looking at a report, I believe it's from Professor Fred Zindi, who is making the claim that the CIA artificially induced cancer into Bob Marley's toe. So this is not a conspiracy theory, ladies and gentlemen. your U.S. government, your CIA are hitmen, are like assassinators. I mean, man.
You wanna, Pops? Can you mind reading this passage too?
I just read that one. Which is another one?
No. It's the next one. Yeah.
I'm not. I'll read what I said. It's the. Oh, it says, to our mind, it is absolutely plausible and extremely likely that cancer can be artificially induced in a specific target. Certainly, we must realize that the causes, the mechanism of how various pollutants cause cancer has been studied and understood, with some of the billions and billions of research monies devoted to cancer over the past 100 years. In fact, many believe that is exactly how Bob Marley died. Cancer was inflicted through his toe. The only thing you have to entertain is whether you think it is possible, whether the technological understanding exists, whether the malice exists to give someone cancer, and whether you think it was possible to those things in the 1970s. Well, the gentleman who took ownership of putting that little copper into the shoe of Bob Marley exposed it. He explained in detail exactly what this report is saying. Now, why would somebody, like you asked, son, earlier, why would somebody who had nothing to do with a murder, of that magnitude, confess that he was the one who did it? This is not a conspiracy theory no more, ladies and gentlemen. This is actual facts. And here it is. What are we going to do about it? I know what I want to do, but I can't do nothing by myself. You know what I mean? I don't know the intricacies of maneuvering anything in the laws, what have you. I would love to learn, you know what I mean? But, something has to be done on the behalf of Bob Marley. You know what I mean? Whether his children, his grandchildren are going to, do something about this. Just like our brother Malcolm X's daughter, I would believe, I forgot which one it was, but I think she has a lawsuit. She filed a lawsuit against the U.S. federal government for the murder of her father. You know what I'm saying? So something can be done, man. Like, restitution. I mean, daggone, come on, man. You snuffed a legend, you know what I mean, out of this world for no reason other than he was causing conflict with the evil of the world.
All right. Because I mean, if anyone speaks on Bob Marley, you would say he was for the people. Now, if the government, whatever their reasons for killing him, wasn't for our benefit, like he said in the guy that admits to killing him, he said he was doing it out of the thought that he was doing it for the protection of the U.S. government, which is supposed to be protecting the people, but it was only to protect those in power, not the people. Because Bob Marley was for the people, so you didn't kill him for our protection. Yeah.
But through his music, son, Bob Marley was exposing the evil of not just the government, but who runs the government. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about a bully and a murderer, they don't want you to be talking about them. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be long before they'll try to indoctrinate you by turning you over, flipping you, making you change the way you speak, change the way you sing. And we heard it, you know what I mean? They sent a message to Brother Bob Marley in the beginning They tried to assassinate him in his home. They shot him, shot all his crew, his wife, and they all survived. You know what I mean? So then they was like, wow, man, this man is almost invincible. Well, let's try something else. You know what I'm saying? And that is some dirty tactics, man. Crazy. But this is our government. You know what I mean? Well, who else? Who else? I mean, I'm pretty sure Michael Jackson. I'm pretty sure Prince. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of musicians where it's essentially they either kill them for two reasons. For their influence, so I would say Prince, Bob Marley, and Michael. They use music to. They didn't. I wouldn't say they intentionally use music to gain power, but their music was so captivating and so amazing to people.
Oh yeah, of course. But
because like that was taking out a bite of their apple. So in those cases, I would say they have to kill them.
But
competition and not a spite. But there's other artists that are killed just from the fact that they have those insurance policies on artists. And there's a time in an artist's career where they are worth more than are worth more dead than they are alive. Their catalog of music is worth more if they are dead than if they are alive. And we've seen it time and time again. You'll see an artist die and go from having their little fan base, but not everyone knows them, to they die and now everyone starts listening to that person. And now their music is reaching far more people than it was before they passed away. And we'll take it a step further. Now there's, I won't even say now, but there's certain artists that have catalogs that are long enough so that after they die, they can continue releasing their music without them being here. And it gets them even more attention because for some reason, well, like I said, there's a plateau in which an artist reaches where they've hit their pinnacle when it comes to their influence. And to get any further than that, and for the record label to make more money from them, they're better off dead.
That is definitely a truth. And let me also add on to what makes, in their mind, the powers that be, what makes a person dangerous is when they speak about independency, when they speak about ownership, specifically ownership. When our brother Prince, shout out to Bronze Flat Power, God, salute. When our brother Prince signed his record deal with Warner Brothers, he signed over his name. I don't know whether he knew that or not, but he signed over his name. And for a while, I think this was before you were born, son. But for a while, Prince was wearing Slave on the side of his cheek and changed his name to a emblem, like a logo.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, so he was a slave to his record company, to the record deal, to the contract. And he was trying to wake up a lot of artists, you know what I'm saying, by speaking on these contracts, you know what I'm saying, and how your signature is your death, pretty much, you know what I'm saying, because you're not going to own anything that you create. And Prince was very big on ownership, and it's so funny that, you know, a lot of artists wanted to do collabos with him, but he was very specific about who he did collaborations with. And one thing he would ask the artists that reached out to him he would ask them, "Do you own your masters?" And if they said no, then he wasn't he wasn't doing the collabo with them. You know what I mean? And Michael Jackson, you know what I mean, got, you know, knowledgeable about the ins and outs of the music industry and what have you. And you know what I'm saying, he expressed some interest in purchasing Sony. You know what I mean? And other companies. I want to say Marvel was one of them. Did you know that?
I didn't, but I would not be surprised.
Yeah, Michael Jackson was trying to buy Marvel. You know what I mean? Anytime, you know what I mean, our people express, you know, the desire to own certain fruit, they get snuffed out, man. Either get snuffed out or they get thrown in jail, some BS charges. You know what I'm saying? Some crazy accusation is thrown their way. You know what I mean? And the character assassination starts to take a hold. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we've seen a lot of our people characters assassinated. Not just their physical body, but their reputation. You know what I mean? Their reputation is assassinated. You know what I'm saying? We can go on, you know, of names, you know what I'm saying, of our people who have suffered through the hands of propaganda bullcrap. You know what I mean? Led by the federal government, led by the media, led by all of those, you know, avenues in which we learn information from. You know what I mean? And we gotta stop listening to what other people gotta say about us. That's what we gotta do. What you say? What you think?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's crazy. When it comes to, because me myself being an artist, it's kind of something I fear, you know, like I feel like there's gonna come that point in time where it's just like, and I've seen a video of it of another artist speaking on, like, there's certain levels, and this goes for any career though, to be honest. There's certain levels where you get to in life, in your career, where you start being like the notions to sell out, I guess is the term for it, get greater and greater, more apparent, and stuff like that.
Right.
And I've never thought about, like, you know, doing this music and like it affecting anything outside of my life beyond that. And I never would want it to be honest. And so for me personally, if it ever came to that point, I'm always going to choose, like, my family, my personal life over the music. I can make music in my room and not share it to anybody. I don't care. You know, it's just something for me to make, and if other people enjoy it, well, that's great. Let's enjoy it together. But other than that, yeah, I think it's crazy how the what do you call it? The record labels can taint something that's supposed to be pure. It's supposed to be medicine. That's what music is. When you look at the symbol for it in Chinese characters, it's the same symbol. Like, the symbol for medicine and symbol for music are synonymous. It's because music is supposed to be healing. So, right. It's crazy how we live in America, where it's just like it's not that, because, you know, you go to the tribes and stuff like that. Music is free. It's supposed to be free. It's supposed to be partaken by all, and it's supposed to be a loving experience, a healing experience, right, that the whole community can experience together. And here in America, it's kind of weird. Like, you know, it's like we've taken what is pure and innocent and is supposed to bring you healing, and tainted it.
Yeah.
And Bob Marley, not even being from, because he was, we know he's from Jamaica, but he's known as an American artist because he he had his career here in America. So
gave tours.
It's just an example of like how corrupt like America can be, because you've seen pictures of Marley. We've seen videos of Marley. Right. Yeah, he was an activist, and he was a revolutionary, but peaceful.
Right. Right.
So if you fear someone who's peaceful, what are you doing that makes you so fearful of someone who's so peaceful?
That means they're the complete opposite. They're the complete opposite. You know what I'm saying? If one person speaks about peace and that makes somebody upset, who is that somebody that's going to get upset? The one who doesn't want peace. You know what I mean? It's the one who doesn't want to lose control over the minds of the people. Because Bob Marley was waking up people, along with other activists out there that was all in that era at that same time. But he was doing it through the music. You know what I'm saying? Talking about uniting, talking about, war. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite, songs by Bob Marley is War. You know what I mean? And he talks about specifically how we are at war with each other, how and who is orchestrating it. You know what I mean? There's always an orchestrator of information being spilled to one people, and then they spill it over to another people within the same community. You know what I'm saying? And cause confusion and division. You know what I mean? There's a name, for those individuals. You know what I'm saying? And they are called the mischief makers. And everywhere they go, mischief follows. You know what I'm saying? And music is just one. It's not even. It's just one way in which the deception, the whitewashing, the taking credit for, and reaping all the benefits from, and not sharing or giving credit to those who are the originators and the creators of it. Music is just one thing, but it goes all down the line, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not just music. It's in poetry. It's in art. You know what I'm saying? There's a create and take relationship with a certain group of people. We create, they take. We created hip hop, they took hip hop. You know what I mean? And once you allow somebody to take something that you created, you no longer have any type of say so on what direction that is going to lead everybody to. You don't have any more say so. We gave up our rights. Some of them was given up, some of them was tricked. We didn't read the fine print. I mean, it's sad, man, but nowadays, I hope we are realizing and recognizing who is our open enemy. I mean, we got to come to an agreement on who our open enemy is. Now, we can fight about, what we should call ourselves, Black, African American, what have you. All of those are titles and names in which, we weren't the originators and the creators of. You know what I'm saying? So that's second. That's third. That's last. You know what I'm saying? The main thing is coming together and realizing that we have one cause, and that's liberation, man. We got to get out of this system. I don't know what else to say, how else to say it. But we got to leave this system alone and create our own. You know what I mean? And that way we won't have to, be subjected to police brutality and just the corruption of every avenue of the system, man. You know what I mean? I'm going off on a tangent. I know I am, you know what I mean? you know, when I heard about this confession from this individual who killed Bob Marley, man, I cried, man. I cried not because I was hurt. I cried because I was pissed. I was mad. I was angry as I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? And just having that feeling of, you know, I can't do anything about it. I want to do something about it, but it's just me. Who else out here, you know, wants to do something about it? You know what I mean? I'm not speaking about violence.
I disagree with you. I feel like the fact that you know, we're speaking about it on the show is what we can do about it. You know, that's how it is. I look at situations, at least, especially when they're tough. In a situation where, you know, not speaking directly on this, but just being in a situation where you don't know what to do, and it seems like everything's against you. At the end of the day, there's little things you can do, you know, and those little things it's funny enough how the universe works. They start to compartmentalize on themselves, start stacking up, and now those little things that you know thought were, you know, they're little, but you didn't think they would have a big influence. They start to pile up and it would have a big influence. So I think it starts here. You know, like you said, you felt something about it. You felt like you needed to do something about it. You cried about it a little bit. That was a little bit something you could do, let out the emotion. And you came to me and you were like, "Hey, let's speak on this to the podcast." Now, me and you are having the conversation. Other people are listening. So who knows where it's going to go from here? Like you said, we're going to probably keep up to date with any more information that comes out with the story. So, yeah, there you go, right there. That sounds like a lot right there, don't it?
Yeah.
So it's all about, yeah.
You know, you know, we could be we could be sometimes impatient. You know what I mean? And me wanting to do something, you know, instantly. You know what I'm saying? It's that immediate response in which you want to respond and react right now. You know what I mean? And
right.
I was by myself when I was listening, when I watched the Willie D, you know, report. But I was driving, you know, out of town when I was listening to Dr. Wesley Muhammad's depiction and his report. And, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you just when you're by yourself and you just want to talk to somebody about it, and you don't have anybody to talk to about it, it was like, you know what I mean? I was going mad. I was, you know, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. That's why I called you or texted you, and I was like, yo, man, look at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I just got to share it. You know what I mean? I shared it on my social media. You know what I'm saying? And whether people looked at it or not, I didn't get anything from anybody that said, yo, you know, what's up with that? Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? I ain't getting no response, man. But, you know.
Well, let's try to get it here. If you're a viewer watching this either live now or you're tuning in later, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the topic about the person admitting to killing Bob Marley. And, we want to know, how you guys are thinking. And your comment, you know, other people can see that comment and probably, you know, speak on it as well. So we definitely want to get the conversation started and go from here.
For sure, man. You know, it's one thing, you know, to talk about it.
Just speaking. I can't hear you right now.
Oh yeah. I said, you know, it's. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just want to say, you know, we're talking about it now. You know, well, hopefully this is not going to be the last time we're going to have any information on it. Like I said, man, I'm gonna keep tabs on this individual who made his confession, and we're definitely going to keep up with this, man. You know what I mean? And definitely come back and do more lives with more updates on this confession from this former CIA agent. You know what I mean? For sure. But justice for both, man. You know what I mean? Enough respect.
Yeah, and if, like I say, if any of our viewers y'all have any more information on it, we would love to hear it. And like we said, we're gonna have some follow-up videos on this, so we'll definitely if the information is good that you share, we'll definitely share it with on the videos as well. Pops, anything else you want to add before we get out of here? I know it's getting a little late.
Well, no, yeah, it's pretty late right now, but yo, look out for our future lives. We're gonna definitely be doing more lives coming up in the near future. Look out for that show with our sister Sophia Stewart. You know what I mean? Part 2.
Yeah, we got another one coming. Have you seen the views on the last one?
From our last.
I think. So the last time Sophia was on, that's like our most streamed video.
Yeah.
It's at, I think, 529. I may be wrong. 529 views. So that's a lot to me. You know, I look back, I was like, oh shit, that shit is trending like a motherfucker. Yo.
No doubt, man. But yo, man,
Word.
you know, we're just a small, you know, podcast show. You know what I mean? We're not in the, you know, the limelight with all the views and all that. You know what I mean? But we're growing, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not giving up on getting our word out. We didn't do this for the clout. We're not doing this for any of the, you know, monetary funds, which is nice to receive. You know what I mean? But more so than anything, like I said in the beginning, you know what I mean, why we do this, you know, show, you know what I mean? That's just to bring more of collectiveness together, to bring us, our young and our old, or wisdom, come together. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that, you know, our elders can share with our youth, and our youth can share with our elders. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to come into our own our own selves and figure ourselves out without any interference from outside.
Word. And we genuinely want to hear from you guys, our viewers. So if there's topics you want us to discuss, we'll be more than happy to discuss them if we, you know, deem them necessary to discuss. So like I said, you know, come on, talk to us. Like I said, if there's any discussion, any topics you guys want us to discuss, because like my pop said earlier, there is a lot going on right now. So we want to hear from you guys what you guys want to hear, because there's a lot going on. So yeah.
Hey, one thing I want to say, you know, I want to actually touch on something, and might be a little bit, you know, sensitive to some, but there's a lot of we tune in to a certain episode, to a certain podcast. Shout out to my brother Sanchez, who is a flat earther, and I'm big on information and knowledge. And when certain things make sense, I have to tune in to hear more. You know what I mean? And this brother is very knowledgeable, you know what I'm saying, and very sensible and using critical thinking. So I'm going to put this out there. You know what I mean? I want to have a discussion with those who believe the earth is a globe and those who don't. You know what I mean? Just want to put that out there, you know, because I truly hear both sides, and what is more credible is those who have knowledge of the earth being flat. I'll just put that out there. You know,
it's pretty shocking.
Yeah, I said so myself.
But like I said, I mean, so yeah, I mean, that's another topic we can, you know.
That sounds
like you. Yeah, we can definitely discuss that for sure. We're definitely gonna have that episode coming.
Absolutely.
Maybe even have Sanchez on if we could try. maybe. Well, we'll see. We'll get the conversation at least rolling. Get some attention to it. and see what happens. You know, we tend to have the luck of the Irish when it comes to this.
Yeah, indeed. So shout out, as you know, he allows me to be a moderator on his podcast. So you know, I'll sneak in there a certain invite or something like that, inquiry, if I'm allowed to. But you know, more than likely, I'll just probably shoot him an email or something like that. You know, because it's information, man. And you know, one thing that I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say about knowledge is that you can't be afraid to hear information, and you allow it to cause a friction within your foundation. You know what I mean? I'm not shaken from my foundation of being a Muslim or being a member of the Nation of Islam. When I hear science, when I hear common sense, you know what I mean, I take heed to it. I don't shut my ears. I don't close my mind. I'm actually more enlightened, you know what I mean, more than anything. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, there's a quote that he has said about science, is that, you know, I can't quote him verbatim, but he said, if I was able to teach science more, then I would do so. You know what I mean? And let me see if I can pull it up real quick, you know what I mean, before we go. Because, you know, we definitely need science. We need to know science and symbolism. Why I respect this brother so much is because he synchronized the symbols, you know what I mean, and everything that's supposed to be a secret, you know. But let me see if I can find it real quick, man. Hold on. But look, I can't find it right now. But you know, here we go. Oh, he said, I just want to teach you science. I'm just grieved over that. I want to teach you the science which you should know. I want you to learn about the presence of God and the presence of his messenger. I want you to learn them, and then you can battle if you want. So that's the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's words about teaching science. You know what I mean? So shout out to Brother Sanchez. You know what I mean? Hopefully you can make your presence felt on our podcast. You know what I mean? Just an invite, shout out to you. Just to teach our audience about flat earth. You know what I mean? And how you came to that conclusion, or how do you come to the mind of thinking or knowing that the earth is flat. I think we can learn something from everything, man. You know what I mean?
Right. Like how I see it is just like with anything, like I'm willing to listen to anyone because everyone has something you can learn from. Like, and that's not to say like anytime you listen to someone, they're always going to be truthful and tell you the truth, but there's always some meat to what someone's saying, and the rest you spit out. Like they say, you eat the meat, spit out the bones, you know? And what someone finds the meat can be different than what someone else finds the meat, and same for the bones. So I mean, yeah, that's how I look at it. I try my best to learn from anyone, no matter what side they're on, whether they're on my side or the other side. And I'd rather them be on the other side because I want to know about what you think. You know what I'm saying? Why you think that way, different from what I think. Helps my argument, you know, at the very least.
I mean,
but yeah.
That's what I instilled in you and your brothers and sisters, man. You know what I mean? Keep your mind open, man. You know what I mean? We didn't go to school to learn one subject. You know what I mean? So just keep that in your thought process when you hear information that you were never privileged to hear. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how I came into the knowing of Islam. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't exposed to me at an early age. You know what I mean? I had to seek it. I had to find my way outside of the Christian church trap, and then locate other, you know what I mean, paths. And then boom, Islam was the path or foundation that I wanted to rest on. That doesn't mean I'm just going to be solely studying Islam. You know what I'm saying? But mathematics is Islam, and Islam is mathematics. Science is a part of mathematics. So it's good to be aware. You know what I mean? I'll just put it like that.
Word. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up, though, Pops. This has been another episode of Two Treys podcast. I think this is episode 39. So, yeah, we're on the 39th episode, and I think we're, pretty awesome.
I like
Coming
that.
up on 40. Yeah.
No question, man.
Word. Assalamu alaikum, Pops. You have a good rest of your night. To our viewers, y'all have a good night. Again, hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, this has been Two Treys podcast.
Peace.